Bushcraft Rebel here. Bushcraft Rebel knives. Been gone for a while. Lots of busy stuff, lots of things going on, lots of work being done, things like that. So, I had a couple questions from a few people, kind of like wanting to get into doing different things and making some knives and stuff like that. So I thought we kind of talk about good starter things for people that are relatively, you can get them and they're not going to cost you a fortune. Yeah, granted, yeah, you can go on Amazon or eBay or any of those and buy 1098 or 1084, whatever. But just stuff that you can use if you're starting out and you just want to start out with something simple, something you have laying around, that kind of stuff. There's my dog. So number one, I'll start with is good old-fashioned railroad spikes. They're not the best hardenable steel. I got critters up there. Not the best hardenable steel, but they will work. I mean, they'll work. You can make something neat out of them. There's a lot of different things you can do with them. You can, I mean, it's endless, buddy. You can make door hangers off of them. Pretty much, if you can think about it, you can make it. Another one is rebar. You can find a lot of rebar stuff just laying around. This was just something I was kind of playing around with. I need a really big hook. The rebar, it hardens. It's not the best thing in the world, but it does work. Another go-to, you can pretty much find it at any place you look, is going to be leaf springs. The only problem with leaf springs is micro cracks, especially if you get it off a vehicle that's out of the junkyard, of course. So there's a lot of different things you can do. So that's 3 different kinds of steels that you can get that are relatively simple and easy, not really hard to find or anything like that. So from there we'll go tool wise. I mean, let's face it. Got a good angle grinder, you can do a stock removal knife. Of course, you won't be able to do a stock removal knife from this unless it's really small. But when it comes to your leaf springs or anything else, that right there will work. Get yourself a good cutting disc, no big deal. From there, if you don't have grinders and stuff like that, I used to make knives by hands with files. Hang on, let me grab something. I hope the fan and stuff's not too loud, but it is still exceedingly hot out here. It's pretty hot in Illinois right now. We're hitting 100 markers and stuff like that. So, if it's a hobby you want to get into, I've showed you a couple different metals you can use that are really easy to get a hold of. I get very creative on what I do, and I'm going to show you some things on other videos on how I do what I call recycled handles, which I'm sure a bunch of people out there do it. I just haven't seen it. I'm for sure they do. I'm highly unlikely that I'm the only person who does it. But that will be another video. So, as far as that goes, you've got a few hand tools and stuff like that. There are a ton of different forges you can buy. There's forges on Amazon that you can buy. And I really haven't come across a bad forge. Granted, I made my first forge myself. And I rather enjoyed it up until I found out that it did not get hot enough for Damascus. Just the way it was set up, it wouldn't keep the heat to do Damascus, so I ended up not doing it. But no, dude, I made it from a one of those balloon tanks that you buy from the store in Era. put the helium in your balloons. I made my first one out of that. So it's all really in what you're capable of doing. But as that goes, I mean, like, don't let anyone tell you you can't do something. There may be certain things you can't make, but we can pretty much do whatever we put our minds to. We're pretty good at that in this country. And plus, if you go on YouTube, watch some of the guys from other countries who don't have any of the stuff we have. Yet, you know, they're making knives out of shit they find in the dumpster. So, a few basic tools you can get and do about anything you want. You want to be the guy who's got the forge and everything else, that's perfectly fine. I used my homemade forge for God only knows how long. Until I started getting into doing certain pieces of Damascus and stuff like that, and you know, I had to kind of step it up with different things. That's one of my handles that I talked to you about, recycles, for recycling handling. Believe it or not, those are bottle caps, and the pins are made from drill bits. Pretty snazzy. But give it a try. I mean, even if it's maybe knife making's not what you want to do, and maybe you want to go more of the art and make, I don't know, wrought iron stuff and things like that, and all the different stuff. Just give it a try. The only thing that holds you back is you. Bushcraft Rebel out.